This lesson is about subtracting integers. And because of the various cases that we can create out of the pairs of positive and negative integers, this is going to be the first part of 2 videos that I will be creating with regards to subtracting integers. We will be using this to represent positive numbers and as well as negative numbers. Okay, so terms that we need to understand, I will be using the terms minuend, subtrahend, difference, and zero pair. Minuend is what we call the first number in a subtraction sentence, the number that we are subtracting from. The subtrahend is the second number, the number that we are going to subtract, and the difference is the result of the subtraction process. Okay, there will be 4 cases that I will discuss, and all of the 4 cases will have a positive minuend. So the subtrahend will vary between positive and negative. Okay, so let's start with the first case. In this case, we have a positive 7 minus a positive 4. So we are subtracting a positive number from a positive number. And this subtrahend is less than our minuend. So to do this using manipulatives, we will represent 7 with 7 positive discs. Okay, so we have 7 positive discs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's the minuend. And then we subtract. Subtraction is simply taking away, so we take away 4 from the 7 positive discs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that leaves 3 positive discs. So therefore 7 minus 4 is equal to positive 3. Okay, look, so let's try to record that. In case you do not have this, then you still can do it, because there's always a way to do it. Okay, so we will have to draw 7 circles, and in each circle we're going to put a positive sign to indicate that it represents a positive disc. So we have 4, 5, 6, and 7. And because we want to take away 4, then simply we cross out the 4 discs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that leaves 3 discs, and so the difference is equal to 3. So this time we have the second case, wherein our minuend is still positive and our subtrahend is still positive, but this time the subtrahend has a greater value than our minuend. So that's 7 minus 9. So we represent 7 with 7 positive discs. And 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we have 7 positive discs. Now, our problem is we are going to take away 9 positive discs, but we do not have enough. So we can introduce 2 more positive discs in order to have 9 positive discs. But we cannot just do it as easy as, okay, put the disc there, because we have to make sure that the final result will still have a value of 7. So what we're going to do is we are going to introduce what we call zero pair. A zero pair is a pair where the sum of these two discs will be equal to 0. That's why it's called a zero pair. So positive 1 and negative 1 will sum up to 0. So therefore here because we need two more positive discs, then we will have to introduce two zero pairs, because each zero pair brings in one positive disc. So there you go. So this will be 0. This pair gives a value of 0. So the entire representation still has a value of 7. Now we have enough 9 discs to be taken away. So remove the 9 discs. And 9. And so we have 2 negative discs remaining. Therefore, 7 minus 9 is equal to negative 2. Okay, so let's do a semi-concrete way. We start with 7 positive discs to represent positive 7. 6, 7. Okay, and then we introduce two zero pairs because we need two more discs. So one positive and one negative. So that's one zero pair. And that's another zero pair. So the value of this representation is still equal to 7. And now, because we already have enough positive discs, we can take away the 9 discs. Positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And what's left are 2 negative discs with a value of negative 2. So 7 minus 9 is equal to 2. Okay, third case is where you have still positive 7 and we subtract negative 4 from positive 7. We have here 7 positive discs representing positive 7. And because we are going to subtract or take away negative 4, so we need to introduce 4 negative discs. And to do that, we will have to introduce 4 zero pairs. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so now by introducing 4 zero pairs, we have our 4 negative discs. Okay, so we're now ready to take away the negative 4. So take away the 4 negative discs and leaves this green positive disc, which is altogether equal to, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 7 minus negative 4 is equal to positive 11. Okay, so let's do it the semi-concrete way. We have positive 7, and 7. Because we need to take away negative 4, then we need to introduce 4 negative discs by introducing 4 zero pairs. So we have the first zero pair, okay, so we now have the 4 zero pairs. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and but with the 4 negative this pairs. So now we are ready to take away the negative 4. Cross out the negative this. We need 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So after crossing out the 4 negative this, we have all positive this left. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 positive this, which is equal to positive 11. So in this case, because we do not have the negative, so we introduce 0 pairs to come up with. And case number 4, where we have 7 minus negative 9. So 7 take away negative 9. So just like what we did earlier, we represent positive 7 with 7 positive disc. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And because we want to take away negative 5, but we do not have that as of the moment, so we need to add or introduce 9 0 pairs so that we can come up with 9 negative this. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 0 pairs. The value of this pairs will still be 0. Then plus 7 positive this. So this representation is still equal to 7. So now we have 9 negative this. So we can take away the negative 9. So 9 negative this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So after taking away the 9 negative this, we're left with all this positive this, and let's count how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 7 minus negative 9 is equal to positive 16. Okay, so that's the concrete way of doing or showing subtraction. Let's do the semi way of doing the subtraction. So just like what we did earlier, we draw 7 positive this to represent positive 7, our minuend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And because we need negative 9 negative this, so we are going to introduce 9 negative pairs. A negative pair, or sorry, 9 0 pairs. A 0 pair is made up of a positive and a negative. So that's 1 pair, that's 2, 3, 4, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 zero pairs. And so with the 9 zero pairs, we now have 9 negative disc, and take away this 9 negative disc by crossing out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that leaves all positive discs, and all of them, there are 16 of them, and that's why 7 minus negative 9 is equal to, 7 minus negative 9 is equal to 16. So to summarize, to do the concrete way of subtracting integers, we will first have to represent our minuend. If it is a positive minuend, then you will have to use the positive disc, the number of which of course depends on what the number is in the sentence. And then to introduce other additional disc, we have to introduce zero pairs. A zero pair is one we have a positive and a negative. Putting this pair into the representation does not change the value of our representation, because the value of this pair is just equal to 0. So this ends our presentation on subtracting integers with positive minuend. Watch for my second video on subtracting integers with negative minuend.